Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Hope you guys can all hear me well. Hope you guys are all going well, though. Welcome to tonight's live stream, members live stream on spring renovations, because we are getting so close to kicking into spring. I mean, you know, getting excited enough anyway, probably about 6 weeks off. Depending on where you live, though, some of the guys in Queensland are probably starting to get some warmer temps at the moment as well, so we will see. Let me just close that down. It's got an email pop in. Oh, it's just telling me I'm live on YouTube. If everyone's here, make sure you just repeat myself. Leave a comment for all the members that are here tonight. Love to hear yous and have a chat to yous. Yo, Aiden, what is going on? Thank you for popping in, my man. I appreciate you. Matt Birdo, what is happening? Yo, yo, yo. Welcome. Tonight we're going to answer some questions from the members. It's members live stream tonight. So, yeah, if you aren't a member, you can become a member, and I'll show you how to do it. Let's just flick it up on the screen for you, because I know people ask me the question all the time. Let's just go into the live stream, and I will show you. Let's just hope it doesn't start playing. Alright, beautiful. So, I'll flick across this screen. Where are we? Hey, look, that's weird. Double reality. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, so you can see, man, I look excited in that. You can click join here if you want to become a member. That's one option for you. The second option is you can go to the description and click down there, and it'll bring up the channel memberships there, and you can click join in this spot just here. So that is another option as well for you, if you want to go along there. Man, I missed that grass in that video just there. Can't wait till we get back to that. Anyway, we can get off that screen now. So who's popped in? Who else is here? Peterson, what is happening, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate it, man, too. Appreciate that you enjoy the vids. Hold up. Is the stream still working, guys? It seems to be saying that something's not working, but let me know. It's just saying on my screen that it's trying to do a different resolution. If it's working, we won't worry about it. Who else is in here? Dave Files, what's happening, mate? Thanks for being here. Your alleged looks like it's still working. That's good. Got you loud and clear. Beautiful. Lawns by Nick, what's happening on, mate? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're going well. Not long till things start kicking in for all of us. Matt Berto, nice and icy here this morning. Yeah, we've been getting quite heavy frost lately. It's been smashing us. Which makes out for nice days though, which is nice, and it dries out the ground a bit, so I can do a bit more on the property. But yeah, it is nasty when it gets freezing like that. Who else is here? David Johns, Lockie, Sean Johnson. What's happening from South Australia? Brad from New Zealand. What's going on, mate? I'll get to your question in a second. Peterson, YT. Dave Fowles. Oh, I already read that. Nick Wheeler. Hey, bro. Good to see all the work you've done on the property. Busy. Thanks, my guy. I'm excited. It's all starting to kick in now. We're actually starting to do things and continuing to do things. Just hopefully the rain doesn't hold us up. That's the only thing. Ben Thompson. Welcome to members live streams, mate. I appreciate you becoming a member. Legend. Nick Wheeler. You talking about football or the grass? Don't know, bro. What are you saying? How's the dam repairs going? Nothing done there yet. I actually did mow around the dam today, which took me like 5 hours. It took me a long time. Used the whippy, and then I tried to use the push mower for a bit, and that failed. I used the zero turn for for the rest of it, and I found a few stumps under there. Luckily, I felt it against the deck, so I didn't smack over them, but then I got bogged as well, so this weekend's video is going to be a journey. Going to be something exciting. George Ackerman, another Kiwi here. Yo, my Kiwi brother. What's going on, my guy? Good to have you in here. Alright, so we'll answer Peterson's question while we're here, and then we'll get to some of the questions we had on Facebook, which I asked you guys to have a chat about, and then we will run into questions in the live chat as well, and let's just start discussing spring. Obviously, all this stuff for people who aren't members is going to be relatable as well, because you guys will be able to hear the questions that are going on, see them popping up on the screen, and we'll answer them, and I'll be chatting about some other things as well regarding spring on top of that. So it's not restricted to members. Members just get to ask the questions in the chat, that's all. So, Peterson, where are we? It says, love your vids, man. Keep it up. Oh, wrong one. Where's the question? Hey, mate, my dogs have ripped up my lawn. Any ideas on how to fix it without having to re-turf or got no other option? Legit is mud. Because it's probably winter time for you, isn't it? Well, obviously. Sorry. You probably got a warm season grass that's gone dormant. That's what I was meant to say. And that's causing an issue for you. So it's hard, man. Come springtime, you'll find it will start to come back. But at the moment, there's probably not much you can do. What type of grass do you have? Do you have kikuyu or cooch or something like that? If you have got something like cooch, it will come back, and it's probably going to be your best option for grass type choice anyway. It's going to be the most tolerant to all the traffic and come back a lot quicker. But the same with kikuyu as well. It's going to be pretty similar, to be honest. It's a hard question to answer because I'd need to see it to see how far gone it is. If it's actually complete mud, it's really hard to tell until you see what happens come springtime and how much regrowth you get when the warm weather starts to kick in and you start getting some growth. It's always going to be an ongoing battle for you though, because you do have pets and they're always going to be either doing the little wee-wees on there or their poos and making a mess of it or digging holes or, it's always an ongoing battle. So I don't know if it's worth for you just really focusing in on one part of the yard, which is your front yard, and letting the dogs go and muck out the back. It's sort of the way it is with dogs and pets, unfortunately. But yeah, shoot me an email though. Ben Sim, no, actually, orders. I don't really use Ben Sims anymore. orders@lawntips.net is the place to flick me an email, Peterson. Mix Mowers, the mower man. Appreciate it, mate. You're a legend. Hi from the GB, which I'm guessing is Great Britain. I'm not a member, but I'll watch. Appreciate that, mate. You're a legend. Absolute ledge. All right. What else we got? How's the dam repairs going? Yep, we read that one. There's a dude that I've been watching build a 5-acre pond. He had a chemical that dusted through the pond to steal a leak. Yeah, so I have actually watched that series. I'm sure a lot of you guys have. I watched it when he first started doing the videos. Very interesting. And I did see that polymer that he used on the dam. My brother actually used some on the golf course, and he thinks it's fixed the leak they had there. So I'm considering getting some, just giving it a try, and just seeing if it fixes a leak. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? I just have to wait till the dam dries out and then line it with some clay, because it'd be a great storage place for some water, which I could use on the little par 3 golf course. Yeah, Peterson. Okay, well, flick me an email and we can look at what what grass type it is, and we can sort of discuss it. Flick any other questions you guys have got, but I'll get up the questions we had on Facebook while we're doing it. Let's just flick up. So this is the members Facebook page for anyone that's viewing in here. I'll pop it up here. Let's just give me a second. Sorry. I'll just get it going on my phone. Alrighty, so here is the Facebook page we have for members. See, Lawn Tips YouTube members. You can only join if you are a member, because we've got a password in the members community tab here on YouTube. So if we have a look, I just asked the guys if they had any questions that they wanted me to cover before we got into the stream tonight. Just so I had a bit of a head start on anything. So Adam Wilkins has asked, killing out rye. So I'm guessing you're killing out rye in a warm season grass like cooch, or is it kikuyu, or is it buffalo? That's the only thing. When these questions are asked, we need a little bit more info. But I'm going to say, I'll give you some options. So if we've got cooch grass, you're looking at something like Monument or Tribute. Just be aware that something like Monument isn't registered for homeowners to use in the home garden or the home lawn. So you probably have to look at something like Tribute. If you're looking at getting something out of your kikuyu, I in the past have used a product called Destiny here. You can also use a product called Force Duke, which is the same active. They're what your main ones are going to be there. You can also use that in buffalo as well, which would also get rid of your bent grass out of your buffalo. As you can see, Dave Farley's asked here about bent grass in buffalo, which is really crazy that you've got bent in your buffalo. That's a bit weird. Anyway, so that's the answer to your questions. Hopefully that answers what you're looking for. If it doesn't, feel free to flick it up on the Facebook page and I'll get back to you, because that's why that Facebook page is there, so you guys can ask questions whenever you like and I get to them as quickly as I can. What do we got next? Adam Keevers. I'd love any advice on completely gutting the old lawn and starting over. So if you're going to completely gut it, I mean, there's a few ways you can do it. If you can get some machinery in there, like a skid steer or something, you can rip it out like that, and then obviously find somewhere to put your soil and stuff. That's going to be a hard one, man. What I've done before is I've got a turf cutter, if you want to do it the hard way, but probably the cheaper way. You get a turf cutter from a place like Kennard's Hire, and what you do basically with that is cut the turf out. There's actually a really old video of me doing this on YouTube. Cut the turf out, dump it somewhere again, and then you bring in some new soil, and then from it, someone's writing a question on there. I can see someone typing. Bring in new soil, and then if you're laying seed or turf, you basically just have to do soil prep, and you can go from there, either seed it or turf it on top. But yeah, you're going to have to pull everything you got out there. Make sure you put some glyphosate or something down and kill out your existing grass, just in case you got some cooch or some kaiku, which can have some runners underground, which can pop back up. So it's good to start probably spraying it nowish if you're thinking you're doing it in spring, and give it even 1 to 2 applications about 2 to 3 weeks apart, just to get on top of it. And then come springtime, rip it out and get into it, man. That's probably the best way to do it. If you're still stuck, I mean, I'll be doing it soon in the par 3 paddock when I'm ripping out heaps of grass and laying turf and putting seed down on the green and doing lots of construction stuff. So you will be able to see me doing that soon in some videos. So keep an eye out if you're still stuck. But that's basically the gist of it. It's not too crazy hard, and you don't have to have it perfectly level either. You get as close as you can, but over time you can top dress if you want to get your lawn nice and flat and going. George Ackerman. How to fertilise your lawn in the middle of New Zealand winters when there's no sun and it's constantly raining. That is a hard one. So we'll answer that question first. So liquid fertiliser is going to be your go 100%. Now, if you're getting constant rain and no sun, it does make it hard. I'll be honest, it really, really does make it hard. You got to make sure you have good drainage in an area like that. Core aeration can help out with areas that get a little bit waterlogged, so you can actually core aerate in the middle of winter or use a pitchfork or something like that. If you noticed in my old yard, I had a few drains around the place, so we actually hooked that into the stormwater, which helped get water away from the yard, which is legal because it was actually there when we first moved in as well. And they do that a lot of new houses when they're actually building them, just to help stop a lot of water running towards the house and get it out of the yard. So yeah, either put some drainage in just to get rid of all that moisture and stuff. But yeah, liquid fertilizer is probably going to go in. But if you're getting no sun, it's constantly raining, it's almost worth just leaving it and waiting until springtime. It's hard, like wintertime. Sometimes we can't do anything about it. Also, overseeding, tall fescue in spring. Is there anything to be aware of? So the biggest thing is you can do it. It's always harder though, because your new seedling establishes and then summer hits it and smashes it, and the root system's going to get hit a little bit harder. So be aware that if you do overseed in springtime, that you're just going to have to really keep on top of the watering come summer, because it's not going to be established grass, and you're going to have to just keep an eye on it more often, I guess. The only other thing is as well is when you're overseeding in spring is there's more chance of like summer weeds coming up that time of year as well, because you're watering it so much, you're going to make a lot of different weeds germinate that time of year. So that's the only other really thing to think about. Dave Farley. I know it's a tough one, but herbicides to remove some turf types from others, like the devil's weed, kike. Come on, bro. From cooch and buffalo. So you want to move kike from cooch and buffalo. So that is a hard one, because there's mostly herbicides that will suppress kaiku and those grass types, but it's not really going to kill it off. It's going to be something you have to do consistently over time, but yeah, it is going to be a little bit harder. Excuse me. Which something like tribute is an option with that in your cooch grass. But yeah, Dave, if you're stuck, flick me an email and just tell me your situation. But yeah, it really depends on the grass type. And what you're trying to get rid of, and because there's so many variables, and some products aren't allowed to be used in the home garden either, which you've got to be aware of. So yeah, you just got to be careful. It's unfortunate. Like, I wish there was herbicides that were safe and worked at getting a grass type out of every different grass type, if you know what I mean. Like there was herbicide for every situation, but unfortunately there isn't a herbicide for every single situation. Steve, oh, here we go. Aiden's asked a question just now. When to apply pre-emergent for different climates? Okay, so this is what I'll be looking at. So I'll be talking about applying pre-emergent in my next couple of videos as well, because I'm going to apply it early, a little bit early, compared to what I normally do, just so people get up to date with this. But what I recommend is, if you're in somewhere like a warmer climate like Queensland or something like that, I highly recommend that you start thinking about putting pre-emergent out at the end of August, so in the next couple of weeks. So 3rd week of August, 4th week of August, that's when I'd highly be recommending you do it. Now, if you're going to do that, make sure you choose something that's going to last a long period of time. So something like Spartan or Barricade, which have the active prodiamine in them, which are available on my website. If you do use the products like the ones that have oxidizone in it, and they can't come to memory right now. There's even dithiop here and a couple of other ones. Just make sure you reapply in the window that they need to be reapplied in. So sometimes it can be 3 months or something along those lines. But yeah, pretty much in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be time to put down pre-emergence for places like Brizzy or warmer regions. Now, if you're in a cooler region like I am here, Victoria, you're in Tassie, just a sort of a cooler climate, you can get away with putting it down mid-September. I'd probably aim for the start of September, so it's going to be a pretty similar sort of time frame, because we do get different weeds in the different regions as well, and they'll germinate at different times. So honestly, I just do it at the start of the season to cover your bum, and then you do it at the start of autumn as well if you want to get it through the winter time on top of that. So that's probably the best time to be looking at it. When it comes to PGR and different climates, so the biggest thing is just apply it when your lawn is actively growing. That's the biggest telltale sign, is when you start mowing your lawn a couple of times a week, or you're finding that you mow it once a week and you're getting too much off. That's when you start using plant growth regulators. Now, as for the windows of when to reapply, it's hard because the hotter it is or the more rain you get, and depending on the the climate and the different times of year, it can break down a little bit quicker. So it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks to when you need to reapply. Because believe it or not, sometimes when PGR runs out, it hits what they call a rebound stage. So if you didn't know, PGR is like what we call a plant growth regulator, which something like Primo Max, which has trinexapac ethyl in it, is something that suppresses the growth of grass. And I'm trying to remember the technical words for how it does it now. It doesn't matter. We don't need to go into it. We don't need to get too technical. But it's applied to stop your grass growing vertically and helps it sort of grow, or stop growing and almost grow. Doesn't really make it grow laterally. It's sort of like a myth. It can to an extent, but it doesn't really. It does help your lawn thicken up though, and gives it a bit more dense colour the more and more that you use that product. Anyway, yeah, so that's the answer to that question. So here we go. Aiden, just got a Protea cylinder mower. Would you scalp Santa Ana right back coming into spring to lower the height? Yes, 100% man, I'd scalp it back. So scalp it back below the height that you want to hit. So say if you wanted to go 15 mil, scalp it back to 10 mil, and even do your reno at that time if you want to. And then you can just start mowing at that higher height over time. Better to do that than gradually bring it down, because I always find it just takes a very, very long time once you start bringing it down slowly. It's better just to do it in that one hit and go from there. Also, Anthony N, thank you so much for becoming a member, mate. I appreciate it. You are a legend. What a man. All right, we've gone through all those questions now. So let's get back onto the ones on the screen. Let me just close this down for now. Beautiful. That's gone. Yeah. Where are we? Dave Fowles. Ha 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 ha. When I was a pup, I bought some cores home from the golf course and planted in Dad's buffalo. It's still there 30 years later and grows well. Oh, there you go. That's why he got some bent grass in there. That's funny as. I was wondering where you got some bent from and had it in your buffalo lawn. Very rare to see bent naturally growing. Like, yeah, especially in Australia. Well, I could be wrong there, but from where I've seen bent around anyway. Okay. Where are we? Hi, Ben. Can you successfully overseed by scalping, dethatching, aerating first, then seeding with rye and just roll it in without putting down soil? You can. You 100% can. Just be aware that it will dry out a lot quicker, which is the reason why I recommend putting down some sand or some soil, because it will dry out. I know it's an easy option not to put any soil down, but man, if you can, even if you get a light dusting, like just to keep a little bit of moisture in there, it just helps out. But you can do it without it. You just have to water it a bit more and just keep on top of it. But you definitely can do it. All right, Lockie. What pre-emergent insecticide, so I think you mean pre-emergent herbicide, to buy from your store from 300 square meters of kaiku? Can I use bow and arrow as a pre-emergent over the whole lawn, or should it be used to spot? Should it be using to spot kill broadleaf? So yeah, so with bow and arrow or turf control, which is the same product, it's just got a, well, it's got the same active in it, just different name. That's how it works in industry. Something's got the same, it's just a different trade name. So that's a post-emergent, so it's not going to prevent any weeds coming up. It's only going to get rid of the weeds that are currently in your lawn. And same with pre-emergents, well, opposite with pre-emergents, sorry, is that pre-emergents will stop weeds. Well, they'll still germinate, but then it will kill them once they've germinated, whereas it won't actually kill mature weeds in your lawn, if that makes sense. So I'd be looking at something like Spartan if you've got 300 square meters, and that will last you a couple of seasons. Or if you want to go the Barricade and you want to apply it twice a year to help winter weeds and summer weeds, that will last you a couple of seasons, even more, because it's twice the product. But there's two options there, Spartan or that Barricade that's on the website. Anthony N, what's happening, mate? Thanks for popping in. Legend. And thanks for becoming a member tonight too, mate. Appreciate it. You're a man. You're a dude. Right, well, while there's no questions coming in, we do actually, believe it or not, have a sponsor for today's video, which I don't think I've ever had anyone sponsor a video. So the guys from Silverstone Gardening over in WA have sponsored today's video. So they're looking for someone for some staff members for their business, because especially kicking into spring, they need some more staff. So I've got a video on the screen with Luke doing a little bit of an intro. And if you guys want to get a job through these guys in WA, make sure you contact them. But I'll pop it up, watch the video, and then we'll kick back into some questions.
Hey friends, it's Luke here from Silverstone Gardening. If you're an experienced gardener, or you're an enthusiast, a hobbyist who absolutely loves lawn and garden care, and you would like to get into the gardening industry, then we may have some job opportunities coming up this spring that may be a great option for you. Silverstone Gardening is a small to medium-sized business working out of the Port Candy area. We give high-quality lawn care and garden care to residential and commercial clients throughout the region. We do a variety of services like regular high-quality lawn mowing, aeration and vertimowing, hedging, mulching, fertilisation, pest and disease control, and a lot more. But what we're really doing for our clients on a deeper level is not just gardening. What we're really doing is giving them their free time back and the peace of mind to know that their lawns and gardens are being cared for by professional gardeners who know what they're doing and care about doing a great job. If this sounds like the type of business that you would like to work for, simply get in contact via the details on this webpage, send through your resume and your cover letter, and we will get in contact with you.
Yo, I'm back. Can you hear me? So thanks, Luke, for that. Thank you for sponsoring the video too, mate. I appreciate that. So make sure if you guys are interested, you can pop onto their website. So I'll put the website back up. There's a contact form there on the right side, as you can see. Or you can email Luke at luke@silverstonegardening.com.au. Beautiful. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate you. A legend. All right, let's get back into some questions. So, where are we at? Who's here? What are we doing? Here we go. Nathan Peterson, you're back. Yo, man. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for being back. And you obviously changed your account, I'm guessing. So, where are we? Anthony and Ben, I put buffalo down start of winter. Lost extreme amount of colour, but it is alive. Should I fert now or wait for the warm weather to top dress? So, Anthony, awesome, you got some lawn down. So, pretty normal for it to go brown in winter time, especially if it's not established. You're going to find the first season, even if you're in a warmer climate, you'll find it will struggle a little bit more because it doesn't have a super strong root system. Will come back very well though. I wouldn't wait to fertilise until you start seeing some green shoots in that buffalo. So you're probably going to be, it depends on where you live, But if it's gone brown, I'd probably assume that you're probably in slightly bit of a cooler climate. So I would recommend probably waiting until probably start of September, end of August. You could probably get away with it. But yeah, definitely do it that time of year. And I would recommend you do not top dress until it is actively growing. So until you've got like lush green grass, or at least, you're mowing it 1 to 2 times a week. That's when I'd recommend you top dress it. And don't go too heavy with buffalo. Just be aware, if you go too heavy with buffalo, it can suffocate a little bit. Just give it light top dressings from time to time, like up to 10 mils, probably your max. As long as you can see the grass blades above it, you're going to be sweet. But yeah, just be aware of that. All right, who we got in here? Yeah, Matt Bodo, that is correct. I didn't even see your comment there. George Ackerman, how soon after putting tall fescue down can you spray with a herbicide? I have some old weeds coming through quite strongly. So generally I recommend after about 5 to 6 mows. If you're a little bit scared, you can put down half rate of the herbicide and you'll be fine. Excuse me, but I have put down full rate after about 6 mows, which is normally about 2 months in, 2 to 3 months in after you've actually put the grass down. So yeah, about that long, so you'll be sweet. I left and came back and I thought I was in an ad. You were in an ad, technically, a sponsored ad. Newcastle, yeah, so I'd be waiting till then, Anthony, for sure. Jason Adams, hey Ben, is it worth a light scalp early September when applying pre-emergent before proper reno, Mike Kike? Yeah, 100% you can, man. I actually scalped my front lawn, Mike Kike, in August last year, I think. Just getting prepped for springtime. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you do it earlier, because it's going to be brown anyway, so not a bad option. Not a bad option. Yo, Josh Dunn, what is happening, mate? Thank you for tuning in. Legend. All right. Keep asking some questions, guys. What's Nathan saying? See, Ben, me making zinger boxes for a living. This whole lawn talking is going right over my head. What? Nice. Nothing wrong with making a zinger box, mate. I do love a good zinger. I tell you what, I do just like the original recipe, to be honest, with KFC. You can't beat it. Well, you can. It's a bit greasy sometimes. Depends on where you get it. If they're cranking out the food, it tastes pretty good. If they're not cranking out the food, you're in for some toilet breaks the next day. A couple of toilet breaks of that. Alright, so let's just chat a little bit about springtime and why I want to do this live stream. Because obviously I want to get it in people's heads that spring is coming up quickly, and it's probably time, especially if you're in Queensland, to really start to think about pre-emergents, insecticides like acelepryn, obviously ordering some sand, hiring out a core aerator. Because if I was living in Queensland, I would legit be like, I'd be doing my renovation middle of August. You know what I mean? Because the temps are warm enough in those areas. Same with WA. Depends on what the weather's been like for the season. You can probably get away with it. Yeah, it really just depends on the season. Since you've got sandy soils too, though, you'd probably be pretty sweet. So really time to start thinking about it, which is crazy. Like, that's a month away for you guys over there, which by the time you start rolling into things and getting going, like, not very far away at all. So yeah, and if you guys haven't really watched any videos on spring renovations, I've got quite a few on the channel. If you just look up lawn renovation on YouTube, you'll see that I've got a few on cool season grass with overseeding included as well. I've got a few on kikuyu. I've even got some on some cooch grass, which I did on my green, my old Tiff Tuff green out the front there. I've got quite a few videos on renovations, so if you want some info, there's lots there. But I'm going to do my renovation early this year as well, so I'm actually going to do it here in August, a little bit earlier. Sounds a bit risky, I know, but we've still got a bit of green growth out there. We're still actually growing currently as well, which is just crazy. If you missed yesterday's video, you can see the lawn is still getting some grass off it, and we've still got some colour kicking along, which is beautiful considering we've had probably I'd say about 20 frosts now this season, which there hasn't been as many frosts as last season because of all the rain we've had, which has been good. It has been good, which I think is part of the reason why we're holding a bit more colour this year as well, on top of using those liquid ferts and the regular mowing. But yeah, I'm going to do a reno probably in August. Now, the main reason I'm doing that is so I'm sort of putting a video out ahead of you guys, so you guys, if you have never done a lawn renovation before and you want to follow along in what I'm doing, I'll have a video done so you guys can go out and do it in the next 2 to 3 weeks after that, you know what I mean? And in all honesty, you don't have to do a lawn renovation every single year either. Like something on the golf course we did all the time because you had lots of traffic. But believe it or not, you don't have to do it year after year. But I mean, you do notice the difference if you miss a year compared to the year before. You know what I mean? So renovations do help out quite a bit. And the main reason we do them is because one, they relieve compaction, help out with aeration and drainage from when we put the core holes in. And on top of that, if you're using sand, that's also great for drainage on top of that. Also, they're going to level your lawn, especially if you continually top dress with sand over time, or even with like just top dress soil as well. You're still going to help level it. On top of that, it's going to get rid of all our thatch, which is going to help get a lot more oxygen down to our actual plant itself as well. So there's lots and lots of positives for doing it, which is why generally if you do it at the start of the season, it sets you up for the rest of the season as well. But hey, you can do it in December if you want to. You can do it in January. I mean, you're probably pushing a little bit if you're starting to go in January with warm season grasses, but you can do it later in the season. We used to always do our bowling green over the Christmas period because that's when everybody was away on holidays. So that's when we could take the bowling green out of play. So you can still do it at that time of year. As long as the grass is actively growing, you can do a lawn renovation on your lawn. When it comes to cool season grasses, I personally, like if you're in New Zealand or somewhere in New South Wales or that has something like ryegrass, tall fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, one of those cool season grasses, highly recommend that you do a renovation in autumn. Chuck an overseed in there if your grass is a bit thin or you got some bare patches, because with cool season grass, its active time of growing is the cooler season, if that makes sense. So warm season grass, warm time of the year. So you set it up to go through spring and summer and a little bit of autumn for your warm season grass. For your cool season grass, you're setting it up for autumn, winter, and the start of spring before it gets really hot. So that's why you tend to do them different times of the year, if that makes sense. Okay, we've got a few more questions kicking in. Got Mike from NZ. Welcome to the members live streams. Mike, yo. Thanks so much, man, for becoming a member. Hey, Ben, looking to do my first reno on my lawn, middle of South Island, New Zealand. Really sandy soil, unknown type of grass. Thinking rye, but open to anything. If you're in NZ, yeah, I'd be looking at something like some rye, maybe some Kentucky bluegrass. Some sort of cool season grass is probably the go with your type of climate. You can get away with Kuchikaiku, just be aware that it will go dormant in the winter time or really, really slow down. And you guys get quite a lot of rain as well. So if it was me, I'd choose to go the cool season grass, to be honest. I would be going the cool season grass. If you want any more... What am I trying to say? If you want any more advice on that, feel free to email me, Mike, as well, at orders@lawntips.net. I did flick it up higher in the comments earlier. But that's what I recommend, 100% a cool season grass for sure, mate, if that's what you're going to be doing. Brad Self, last question for tonight. With rye, soil down first or on top of seed when overseeding? So what I used to do is I used to put half my seed out first, then top dress. But when you're top dressing, you sort of don't want to put them in big piles and then spread them out. You want to like flick it across the lawn like I used to do in the videos, and I still do in the videos. That's the way I do it, and then put your other half out on top, then rake it in, then roll it on top of that. So that is probably the way I'd look at doing it, mate, like half. Makes it quite, it just gives you a bit of chance of getting a good strike, good germination. Wets, is that how you pronounce his name? Wets. Hey bro, when's the best time to put down some acelepryn? GR in WA, buff is only 8 months old. So you can put down acelepryn even if your lawn's like 1 day old, believe it or not. Pretty safe stuff. But I'd be putting it down end of August, mate, start of September. That is the time I'd be doing it, to be honest, to help yourself with your African black beetle, 100%. So that's what I mean, like it's getting close, getting very close. 3 to 4 weeks away, as I said. Screwdriver, thank you for the $2.99. Appreciate it, mate. Have you ever used a product called Anti-Oak? I haven't personally used it. I actually used to sell that product. Had a few guys purchase it, and it actually did help bring their pH down. I know Brenton from the Aussie Lawn has actually used it in his yard, and he said he had great results he had good results with it as well. I mean, you'd have to double check with him but I'm pretty sure on the phone, because Brent and I actually chat quite a bit on the phone. At least it used to be once a week, but winter time's a bit slow. So we haven't chatted much lately. Although I chatted to him like 2 days ago. But yeah, he said it did work well and it's a good product. So anti-alk, from experience, not from personal experience, from what I've been told, does work. But that's all I've really got info-wise. And I do some more research as well, though, if you can. All right. Sean, do you ever take a cheeky drive past Brenton's place to see how his rye on the front lawn and tiff is going? Mate, he lives too far away from me. He's like 5 hours. So, no, I don't. If he was closer, we'd be doing more videos together. I missed what your comment, sorry, Lockie. Looking to get a herbicide, Spartan, and an insecticide. Would you recommend Fortune or Spectrum? I'm trying to remember what's what now, because the trade names are not helping me. Hold up. Let me tell you, sorry, mate. So if you want a preventative, I'm pretty sure Fortune is the imidacloprid from memory. Let's just double check there. Fortune. So I'll pop it up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. So this is on my website. So Fortune, okay. So that's bifenthrin. Sorry, I got the wrong way around. So Fortune's bifenthrin. So this is a knockdown insecticide. So if you've got like black beetle or something in your lawn, or armyworm or something like that, that's when you would apply this product. Oh, my face isn't on the screen. I'm back. So yeah, I wouldn't use that. I'd use the Spectrum as the preventative, if you know what I mean. So Spectrum here, we can see the active in it is imidacloprid there. So sorry. I know the active ingredient names, but when it came to the trade names, it actually slipped my mind. But yeah, so Spectrum would be the go for sure, mate. Or if you want to get the bee's knees, Acelepryn GR is the go, because you're going to get 6 months out of it instead of only getting about 3 months out of your imidacloprid. And you can also use Acelepryn as a knockdown for armyworm if you do get that as well. Hopefully you don't, because armyworms suck. You don't want it. All right, where we at? Questions. Oh, Nathan Peterson. Ben, thinking of changing from zingers to greenkeeping, mate. Stay with the zingers. No, kidding. That's awesome, mate. You love it. You will love it. Can be hard sometimes and can be a stressful job, believe it or not, working on a golf course, especially if you get into like a superintendent role or you're looking after greens, and that's something that you've got to look after because, mate, like bent grass can be a stressful thing, but it is. I loved it when I was working on the course. Do you recommend trying to get on a golf course or stadium green keeping apprenticeship? If it was me, and the only reason I'd recommend a golf course is because you probably learn a little more about different types of grass over time, if you know what I mean, because there's so much variation in it. That's what I would recommend. I mean, in saying that though, stadium greenkeepers still know just as much. Like, it's just you're working with different grass types on and off, if you know what I mean. Just done, Judd. Man, I'm having a tongue twister tonight. Give me a second. All right, I'm ready. I got this. Josh Dunn. So I rounded up my new lawn, aka weeds and crap, to restart before spring at the new place. Hiring a scarifier, aerator, and getting some new topsoil. Looking at kikuyu seeds. What would your best suggestion be? If it was me, I'd probably go couch grass, just because I'm a huge fan of couch, and you can get it nice and short, and it looks really, really tidy when you get to that. But inside that, oh wow, excuse me. I'm on a roll tonight. But kikuyu. Kikuyu is also a nice grass type. You can have it a little bit taller if you like. It can be a little... There's not really too many more benefits to having kikuyu over couch, to be honest. It just really comes down to personal preference. But if it was me, I'd be going couch just because I'm a big fan of couch grass. It's just my honest opinion. About 100 square meters for kikuyu seeds. Got any tips your lawn tips and ground for ready. Was that connected to the other question? Sorry. Oh, it was connected. So would your suggestion be for about 100 square meters of cocoa seeds and any tips? Get your lawn tips mix and ground for ready. So, I'm just trying to understand the question. Sorry, man. Maybe flick me another question through down below because I'm a bit confused. Nathan Peterson, he's got some free ASMR. When? There's no ASMR going on here, boy. Anyway, so has anyone got any more questions? So Josh Dunn, maybe you can just reword that one for me so my silly brain can understand what you were trying to say. But yeah, we'll wrap up in probably 5 minutes. So flick your questions in if you've still got them. Anything else I want to talk about with Reno time? I'm just trying to think some of the other common questions I get. I think we've covered quite a lot of them, to be honest, tonight. If you get stuck, I do, as I said before, I've got a few videos on them, so make sure you check those out as well. Here we go, Josh Dunn. I was asking suggestion on branded kikuyu seeds, but cooch was my other option. Yeah, okay. So if you're going to go cooch and you're seeding it, look at something like Princess 77 or something along those lines. That's what I'd recommend. If you're going branded kikuyu seed, just make sure you get one that doesn't have any annual ryegrass in it. Make sure it's just pure kikuyu seed. To be honest, brand-wise, there's not really going to be too much difference between what brand you get. Just make sure it's got like a good certificate on germination rates. I mean, if you buy from any of the lawn care guys anyway, the lawn care suppliers, you're going to be pretty sweet. If you go to Bunnings, you've got to be really, really careful because you do find there is a lot of ryegrass in there. And the reason they put the ryegrass in there, to be honest, is just so that you get something germinate nice and quick. Because kikuyu can take quite a while to come up. That's why, they tend to put the ryegrass in there to stop erosion. And so people think they've got grass coming up and their seed actually worked, because a lot of people get frustrated if it takes over 5 days for seed to germinate if they haven't done their research. It's just sort of the way it is. All right, last questions, and then we're probably going to wrap it up for tonight. Next week, we're probably going to do... What's next week? Not next week, the following week, sorry. We'll do another live stream, but it'll probably be an everyone in live stream. We'll probably have it... we'll have a couple of different options. That reminds me, before we do wrap it up, I actually want to show you guys Dylan Reed, who has helped me out lots and lots of times with a couple of designs for the golf course. He's a graphic designer. He's helped me out in the past. I'm just going to show you. Just got to find the email, from him. Where is it, man? Where's the email? Here we go. So this is an updated concept for you guys. So we had a chat last week about the golf green. You guys helping me design it. So check this out. So this is a redone design. Let's get it up on the screen for you all. So here we go. Look at this. So this is the golf course. So what we had a chat last week. We talked about putting Tiff Tuff on the fairway here. So what we've done is, so the fairway originally came up the top and up here. So we've cut it off a bit lower before the hill, and it actually does like an L shape down towards the bottom tee. Down the bottom here. So quite a big fairway of Tiff Tuff, which is going to be exciting. They've got a tee here, obviously, where my head is. Let's move my head out of the way. Oh, that's not... Oh, wow. Doing well. You can see the tee down the bottom there. And then, from there, let's keep chatting about it. So there's the tee there, as I said. Fairway there. Now, this is my thoughts for what's going on here. So bent grass green. Might be pure distinction because that's what everyone was recommending last week. You can see the bunker. We've made it one big bunker around the back here. We'll see how we go with that. But we've actually stopped it from being in front of the green to make it a little bit easier. So if you tee from here and you hit the fairway, it can roll onto the green, and there's not a fairway, not a bunker, in the way there, which I think that's the way to do it, because it means there's not a huge amount of hazards in the way. Because we've also got the dam there as a hazard, and parts of the green will probably roll off into the dam as well. Two-tier green, which is why you can see the different colours on here. So I'm probably going to have the higher side up the top here. This is my thoughts on it. And then the lower side down here, which just means you can have quite a few different pin placements and maybe have 2 to 3 pins on the green. So you could play it like you could play the golf course like 9 holes, but technically you could hit different pins from different tees and just rotate it around. Have to figure out the best way to do that. But as you can see, there's a different type of grass between the green and the fairway here as well. So my thoughts are going to be, this is going to be some ryegrass. So I'm going to get some nice striped up ryegrass around the green here. The main reason for me deciding to do this is because it's going to act as a barrier between the cooch and then the bent grass as well, because I don't really want cooch grass growing into the green. So ryegrass actually can work as a barrier because of the endophytes that are produced in ryegrass. It'll actually fight off any grass creeping in there, which is awesome. So we might get back to some SR4660 or something along those lines, some nice dark green ryegrass to put there, which I'll probably run it also behind the bunker here in this little corner just here. Same with the ryegrass here on this side, so it's basically going to be our apron and slightly the surrounds of the green. And from here, there's you can see there's another little section here, another fairway. So this is going to be some zoysia grass over here as well. And as for the tees, we're going to have one tee as to Homer 31, another tee as, I don't know, we've still got to figure that out. I don't know if I want to do zoysia on a tee. The only reason being is because it takes so long to grow that if you're hacking at a tee, you're just going to have bare patches all over the tee. So, I don't know if we'll do that, but yeah, still a work in progress. Obviously, things can still change from here, but starting to shape up. And I just want to say a huge, huge shout out to Dylan Reed for helping me out with this. Make sure you guys check out Odyssey Design Marketing. So here's his website here. Just want to give him a shout. I haven't paid him any money for this. He hasn't paid me money to talk about his thing. He's just helped me out with the design. So you can see it popped up on the screen here. odysseydesign.com.au. There's his website there. You can see what he does with his design, etc. If you guys need help with some graphic design, reach out to him. He's even does photographs by the look of it and video production. Can I hire you to do some video production for me, man? Beautiful. How good is that? So, check him out. Dylan Reed, you're a legend. Appreciate everything you've done for me, mate. Really, really do appreciate it. So, I'll just get through the last couple of questions, then we'll wrap up tonight's stream. So, let's have a look. Where are we at? Looking at your site for seeds, but they're empty. Right, yeah. So, I won't have any seeds on my website probably for a little bit longer, just because I want to get some really good seed on there. And just trying to sort out a few things with supplies. So that's why I haven't got any seed up yet, because I haven't really been happy with... It's hard to find a good grass, like some good seeds, We'll get there. We will get there. I'll get some nice ryegrass on there, some nice cooch. I should have some cooch in stock soon, actually, to be honest, and some kaiku. But we're still looking at ryegrass and some different cool season grasses. George Ackerman, did you finalise the irrigation design? Not yet. I've currently being designed. I should get it by the end of the week, I've been told. I was told sometime this week. I was told possibly could be Monday, Tuesday, if not by the end of the week. So looks like it will be the end of the week, which is fine. They only started designing it last week because I'd been chatting to a few different people to design it. So just weighing up my options and trying to figure out who to go with and what way to sort of go. So I'll reveal all the info with that soon enough once everything is confirmed. Dave Fowles, you have to request Cam Smith to the grand opening. I doubt he'd come along, mullet boy. Mandy played well in the open though. He loves his grass too, actually. He really does love his grass. He's got some pure looking, I think he's got some zoysia at home, out the front. And he's using his John Deere. But yeah, no, he actually is really into his grass as well, believe it or not. Just as, is it Mark Leishman as well, is into his grass. Thanks, Matt. I'm happy with how the design's looking. It's looking really good. Will there be any buffalo somewhere on the property? Yes, the 100% will be some buffalo, Aiden. There is a shaded area up the back, where we're probably going to put some buffalo, which is sort of up behind the shed. I'm actually considering putting a tee up there as well to hit over the shed, down to the green. I think that would be pretty fun. I mean, you only get certain people to hit, because if someone slices, they'll hit the road, which wouldn't be smart, or the shed, or my car, or a tractor, which would not be ideal. Nathan Peterson, is there a big difference in overseas grasses on golf courses compared to Australia? No, not huge differences, to be honest. It's very, very similar. Very similar. Haven't seen a rotary hoe in the yard yet. Do you plan on rotary hoeing soil as part of your prep for the par 3 or just be trucking in new soil? So I won't be rotary hoeing as much. I'll be using something called a Harley rake, which is sort of like a light rotary hoe, I guess. It turns over the soil. It's just not going to go super deep, so we're not going to really lose levels like you would when you use a rotary hoe. So I'll be using something similar, which Hutchin and Piers is organising that for me, so I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but it'll be very, very soon. So, as I've said, I want to start spraying out the paddock in the next couple of weeks with some non-selective herbicide, glyphosate. From there, I'm going to fix up some drainage up the back where the green actually is, so we'll probably do a video, might do some digging around the back because it's really, really wet up around this top half of the green here. I actually found, look at that. I found an old rubble drain through there today when I was mowing around there, so I might dig that out and just have a look at it, because there's a bit of water that comes across this road just here, and it runs down through here into the dam, so it might just need a clean out. But if there's rocks all through this area just down here, so like just here you can see where I'm highlighting, so I'll have to figure out where to go with that. I'll dig that up in the next couple of weeks. Well, probably next week I'll get down there and start doing it, to be honest. Not in the next couple of weeks, unless we got rain, which we're supposed to, potentially. Well, some more questions coming. Might as well answer them. Lawns by Nick. Seems to be really hard to get Bermuda Sahara seed at the moment. Anything close to Tip Tough in seed form? Probably closest thing's going to be, again, Princess 77. There's probably other options, but that's what I know of. Do you know how the old house is going? Like, is the lawn still strong? Do you know? Not going that great, but hey. I wasn't expecting it to be going that great, to be honest. It's just a bit patchy. Still some parts that are looking good and green, but it's just patchy because it is ryegrass. Like, you've got to be on top of ryegrass to keep it going. That's the honest truth. Like, it is a hard grass type to look after if you're not into your lawn and you're not keeping an eye on it every couple of days. Alright, I think we'll wrap up the stream there. Appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. We'll do another live stream in the next 2 weeks, which will probably have everyone included. So you guys can all tune in and comment that aren't part of the members. And then members, again, we'll do another live stream after that, which you'll see them scheduled on the channel because I'm going to have them scheduled for what dates they're coming out. So if you just go on YouTube, you can go down to the live stream section on my channel and it will tell you when the next live stream in, which I'll book one in. I'll put them up tomorrow morning or during the day sometime for the next scheduled live streams. But appreciate you guys. Hope you're all having a good night. Chris E., I'm sorry you've just tuned in. We're about to tune out. Sorry, my guy. But I will chat to you guys very, very soon. Keep an eye out for this weekend's video. If you missed last night's video, because we did a midweek video this week, make sure you check that out as well. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.